If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so by clicking on the subscribe button below. Hello friends, in this video I will tell you the story of what happened in the 12 hours prior to the hanging of the 4 convicts in the Nirbhaya rape case in India. These 4 convicts were hanged at 5:30 a.m. on March 20, 2020, as ordered by the court. This news was covered not only by the Indian media, but also by the international media like Associated Press, BBC, and others. This was the 4th time that Tihar Jail in Delhi had made preparations for the hanging. On March 3, 2020, the hanging was postponed for the 3rd time in 6 weeks by a court in the case marked by delaying tactics used by the condemned prisoners. Mukesh Singh, Pawan Gupta, Vinay Sharma, and Akshay Kumar were executed for the savage assault on December 16, 2012 in an empty moving bus on the 23-year-old physiotherapy intern who came to be known the world over as Nirbhaya, which means the fearless one. This brutal rape and murder galvanized the entire nation, whose intense anger forced the rulers of India to hang the rapists. But it was a case of justice delayed but not denied, because this hanging ended a long process in the Indian courts in which the lawyer of the accused tried to stop this hanging by more than 7 years. Nirbhaya's parents said after the hanging that their next fight would be to plug the loopholes that delay punishment in India. It was due to the relentless efforts of Asha Devi, the mother of the victim, who used the media to campaign for justice for her daughter, that these criminals were hanged. Had it not been for her efforts and the anger of millions of people, the punishment would have been changed from death to life imprisonment. Talking to reporters at her home in Dwarka in West Delhi, Nirbhaya's mother, Asha Devi, said that justice was delayed but not denied in the 2012 case. Her father, Badrinath Singh, said that although his daughter has got justice, the family will now fight for daughters of the country and work to plug the loopholes in the rape case. Quote, "We will request the Supreme Court to issue guidelines so that no one can adopt delaying tactics in such cases in the future," unquote, the mother said, referring to the execution of death warrants being deferred thrice by a court on various grounds. Nirbhaya convicts did not have breakfast before execution, said Tihar Jail official. 2 Nirbhaya case convicts had dinner the night before, and none of the 4 had breakfast or a bath before their execution, a Tihar Jail official said. Vinay and Mukesh had their dinner properly on time. The meal comprised roti, dal, rice, and sabji. Akshay had tea in the evening but did not have dinner. The whole night, these men nor the jail staff involved slept, because the jail staff just wanted to get this over with. Their lawyer, A.P. Singh, had approached the Delhi High Court to postpone the execution. At 12:15 a.m., the High Court announced their decision not to postpone execution because there was no ground for it. The lawyer, Mr. A.P. Singh, then decided to approach the Supreme Court which was then closed. So he went to the home of the registrar of the Supreme Court, who informed the Chief Justice of India around 12:30 a.m. The Chief Justice accepted the petition and set up a panel of 3 judges who heard the petition at 2:30 a.m., that is 3 hours before hanging. The convicts were informed around 2 p.m. that the Supreme Court was to hear their case at 2:30 p.m. They started to hope that by 2:30 p.m., that from 2:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m., 3 hours remained, in which the hearing then would be over and they could escape death. But at 3:30 p.m., the Supreme Court announced their decision to proceed with hanging. At 3:32 a.m., this decision was relayed to the Tihar Jail authorities, officially by the Solicitor General of India. By 3:32 p.m., this news also reached the media. Only now it became clear that nothing could stop the hanging because the Supreme Court had rejected the last appeal. At 4 a.m., the jailer and the deputy jailer walked from their office to the jail cells. The men were in separate cells. When the men heard the footsteps outside their cells, they got more nervous. The jailer informed them one by one that their appeals were rejected first by the High Court and then by the Supreme Court, and the jail had no other option but to hang them. So less than an hour before their hanging, jail officials and West Delhi District Magistrate Neha Bansal visited the 4 convicts in their respective cells. As per prison manual, any documents, including the will of the prisoner, can be signed and attested in the presence of the jail superintendent and the district magistrate or additional district magistrate. Large numbers of people had gathered outside the jail and began a countdown when 1 minute was left for the clock to strike 5:30 a.m. The moment the news of the execution was confirmed by Tihar authorities, people started clapping and thanked the judiciary and Delhi police for delivering justice to Nirbhaya. The officials said the 4 convicts were given the chance, but they did not bath or change their clothes prior to hanging. Death row convicts are asked about their last wish before hanging. Mukesh Singh said he would like to donate his organs, while Vinay Sharma wanted his paintings to be given to the jail superintendent and his Hanuman Chalisa book to his family. However, none of the 4 convicts, Mukesh, Vinay, Pawan Gupta and Akshay Kumar Singh, recorded any will, the officials said. Quote, Vinay said his paintings should be given to the jail superintendent and his copy of Hanuman Chalisa to family. Vinay used to draw paintings in jail. Also, some of these prisoners had worked in the jail and they had made some money, and which was given to their families. Before the hanging, all the 4 convicts were pleading the guard for mercy and were shaking with fear. The convicts were covered in black cloth and black hood prior to being brought to the scaffold. Their hands were tied behind their backs. Their heads were covered and they did not see the gallows. Also, just before hanging, just before the jallad or the executioner tied rope around their necks, their feet were also tied together. Also note that despite their requests, these convicts were not allowed to meet one another prior to hanging. I think this was to prevent any conspiracy from being hatched. As they stood on the scaffold, their executioner, Pawan Jallad, tied the noose around their neck, one by one, and they did not resist, although they were surrounded by many guards. These guards were heavy-built men, so that they could restrain them in case anyone or all of them tried to resist or escape. The jail superintendent gave a go-ahead signal to the executioner by waving a piece of cloth from up position to down position, and the executioner Pawan Gupta pulled the lever, and the scaffold on which they were standing moved out, and the men hanged. Their necks broke, which caused the death. By the way, in the execution chamber, the jail officials or the executioner, they don't talk. It's all communicated via signals, like hand signals. After 15 minutes, that is at 5:45 a.m., the doctor checked the four men and pronounced them dead. That as per jail rules, they were left hanging for another 15 minutes. At 6 a.m., they were removed from the gallows and their bodies were loaded into two vans. The bodies were taken to the Deen Dayal Hospital mortuary for post-mortem. As per recent orders of the Supreme Court, all convicts who are sentenced to death must undergo post-mortem. By the way, India is one of the few countries that carries out very few capital punishment. Akshay's family was the first to reach the mortuary, followed by the families of the three others. As per procedure, the post-mortem is conducted only after the family members officially identify the body. After post-mortem, Akshay's body was to go to his native place in Bihar state. Mukesh's body was to go to Rajasthan, and Vinay and Pawan's body were to go to Ravi Das colony in R.K. Puram in New Delhi, which is their residence. Thank you very much. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so by clicking on the subscribe button below. You can also click on the share button and share this video with your friends on WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, or via email.